progress. Okay, so welcome one and all for today's discussion, open panel discussion, and today's discussion is about reducing the carbon footprint. Now, all of us know about carbon footprint, what is happening. So we quickly want to start discussing about this. And here we would start this way. We will introduce ourselves and we will say our opinion and what is happening in our country. Probably we could use up to 2 to 3 minutes for talking about ourselves. Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
I think I'm frozen. I'm not sure. I look frozen. Am I frozen?
yes, your screen is frozen. Probably you can disable the camera and enable it again. You would be visible.
Okay. Oh, frozen. Well, that's okay. As long as you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera off because it's distracting. As long as you can hear me, I'm good.
Excellent. So who wants to start this particular session? Well, Sister Anita, you want to introduce and say why we started?
Sure. Well, hello everyone. I'm Anita, and I'm a mom and a grandmom, and I take this issue very, very seriously. I am enjoying reducing my carbon footprint and learning so much about how to reduce carbon footprint. I just last night I was researching something, and when I went to go type the paper, to print the paper, a banner came up and said, "Hey, reduce your carbon footprint by just copying one sheet of paper." And I said, "Oh, okay, so that's another way to reduce our carbon footprint, printing only what we need off of the computer." So that I just found that fascinating and enjoyed that. I met Kelyani. She reached out to me, bless your heart, beautiful soul, beautiful sister, because with my foundation, absolutely, my Empowerment Through Spoken Word Poetry Foundation is partnered with the Climate Impact Challenge, Net Zero. And ever since then, this sister has been teaching me so much about the climate, mitigating climate change, reducing our carbon footprint. There's so many ways to share, and I'm learning more about the carbon dioxide, CO2, I didn't even know, the greenhouse gases. So I'm learning a lot, and I'm so glad that I joined in partnership with CIC. And I hope all of you, if you've not joined yet, I do really, really encourage and really ask that you join as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Anita. Thank you so much. That's fabulous. So, Sister Olga, you would like to take over next and...
For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I'm Olga. I live between Europe and US. I'm a resident in the United States. I live in California and also in Spain, so half and half. My background, I work for telcos, and I worked 15 years for Google also, and I am at different boards of different companies, and I have my own seed capital. So I focus on innovation and governance and talent, and I can see in the governance part that many companies, they don't do like these kind of things for the planet because it's in their DNA. It's more a PR effect. So we need them to really believe what we're doing. We also, I think we also need to bring younger generations and more into the conversation, because they're amazing, and that's what the planet they're gonna inherit. So my point of view is like, we need to really care, and companies do need to care. We need to have more knowledge, everyone. So to have clear KPIs. Like, for example, yesterday I went into a parking lot, and then when I was parking in the application, I have to pay for the parking. It told me the pollution in that area of the city. So I like to see that, because now I'm more aware. But we need to know, if I'm eating meat, that's bad. If my building is bringing pollution, buildings bring more pollution than cars. So we all need to spread this knowledge so everyone has a good knowledge, because it's our planet, it's our house. So I think we need to understand and explain, then have clear KPIs and standards so we can track the progress we're doing. And I think as women, as we have the family and the kids, it's not about power, it's not about business, it's about like nurturing, it's about taking care of something. In this case, it's the planet, and I think we can make an effect, an impact.
Absolutely.
Excellent. 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 So, thank you so much, Sister Olga. That's really informative. I mean, what you said, that as family we got to go about evaluating, and the most key point that you mentioned, that buildings can create carbon footprint, and that is major carbon footprint creators. This is something that we got to educate people as to how they can reduce the carbon footprint from their buildings. Come on, all of us live in our houses, so that's something we got to do to reduce the carbon footprint. Valid, very, very valid. Thank you so much, sister. Over to Sister Patricia.
Hi everybody. My name is Pat. I'm originally from Poland, but I'm living in UK in Bath. I'm actually married by Cyprus. My husband's coming from Cyprus, but he's from Cyprus as a Greek. So in my family, we speak in three languages. And I would like to share with everyone my experience, because my family is multicultural, so I have chance to see many countries and see the difference, how every country respects the environment and how they treat environment. So, for example, in Cyprus, they are reducing to use the energy which is provided them, that they can have hot water. They're using the wind turbine. They're using the natural sun, that they can got heat water. But for example, in Poland, if they cut, let's say, a tree, then they need to, instead of that tree, put another two trees. Because it's also important about that we need to keep a healthy oxygen for us. And we can compare to about also the buildings, that they cutting a lot of forest, that they can put another buildings for us. So we can find that this is also important, that we can't treat this, that government wants to cut more trees, because this is also impact to our environment and about what we breathe. So this is another, I think, issue we should also think about, because soon we will not have trees and we will not get good oxygen, healthy oxygen for us. This will be not natural oxygen also. But the thing is also that a lot of people forget to clean after themselves. For example, in Poland, every year, almost every month actually, in the schools, not only primary, but also college and university, children or students always spending time and clean our environment where they are when they study. I don't know how is that situation in different countries, but for example, in UK, where I'm living at the moment, I don't see that. I'm just going through the street when I see a lot of rubbish, a lot of things, when close to me is bin. But when I go to Austria, Switzerland, I can't even find any paper there. So I believe, as you mentioned, Sister Kailani, it's about the habits we need to learn, because still we need to learn. I'm not saying everyone to do that, but I think still a lot of work we need to do, that people need to finally respect our earth, because it's our mother, and our mother is crying. That's why it's so many issues now with many countries, and is saying our Mother Earth, please stop doing this because I can't manage that, and I give you so many warnings, and if you not do something about it, I'm sorry, but I can't keep you longer here. So this is my opinion, and this is how I feel at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, sister. That is really valid. I mean, the most important point you said, sister, is about cutting off trees. We all have gone global. We all say globalization, urbanization, and we use all the jazzy stuff and say civilization has to improve everything. But we forgot the basic roots, that the trees which give us oxygen we are chopping off, and that has been the root cause for this entire problem. Now it's time that we start planting trees. We teach kids about it. I was recently talking to Sister Anita. I was telling how we did this experiment in my family, where I started teaching my nephew about gardening, started teaching him how we can have a kitchen garden, grow all the herbs at home, and start using. In fact, that was the way I could deviate him from all these cartoons, TV, and technology and games. And I brought him to Earth, and he thoroughly enjoyed. Today, he's in Australia, and he says he misses the garden that was here, but he's still making it a point to have a small garden in the kitchen and a small garden in his balcony where they live. And he's saying, I wish you come and we do some more stuff. You will create innovative stuff. Let's do nice green environment. I mean, this is something that we got to encourage our kids, and we too will enjoy. So it's really great. So may I request Sister Veena to take over and say something? What's happening in Brunei?
Okay. Can you see me now? Hello, everyone. My
Hello.
name is Vina. I live in Brunei. Yeah. Okay. Basically, Brunei is a very small country. The population is only 490,000, um, including expatriate living and working here. Yeah. Basically, Brunei is the heart of Borneo. I'm not sure whether you are aware where is the location of Brunei in Southeast Asia. Do you know where is Borneo Island in Southeast Asia? Yeah, so we are actually in between we are located in between Sabah and Sarawak, which is under Malaysia, and and below Sabah and Sarawak is Kalimantan, Indonesia. We actually Brunei is the heart of Borneo. It's called the heart of Borneo, yeah. And we try to sustain the green forest, which means that we do not we only have a small amount of logging, yeah, which means that they don't easily cut. You can't easily cut trees in the forest because within the borders, yeah, they place police. So when you try to enter, do some illegal logging, you can get like caught easily. Yeah, and in Brunei, for time being, yeah, as the government is actually trying to build a solar cell plant, because we've got like 4 districts here. In each district, they want to have like a solar plant to cater each district. And like it's a transition from fossil to cleaner energy. um in Brunei we do not have it's very expensive to have apa tu kereta apa hybrid cars. Unlike the Western countries, it's very, very expensive. So it's very difficult for us here to control on that, because like everybody has got like 3 4 cars. We one house sometimes they have more than 5 cars because the public transportation here is very, very, it's not that good. Yeah, you can see like public buses passing through my area, like just one bus per hour, one bus per hour. Yeah, and since this country is producing a lot of oil and gas in Southeast Asia, I think it ranked number 8 or number 6, something like that. Since the fuel is very cheap here, people tend to have like more cars. Each time they launch new cars, they will keep on buying, and they keep the car when like let's say they've got like 4 cars, then they will keep the car after certain years. And I think the government should look into that because it's not good to have too many cars, and we can't do much at this point of time. That's why they are trying to control by having more solar plants. Yeah, that's about it because it's a small country.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank
Rina. You
you.
rightly said, um, usage of cars, one house, so many cars. I mean,
Yes.
it actually contributes to major pollution, and lack of public transport is the biggest issue, not just in Brunei, but half the world out there. Half the world out there, developed
Yeah,
countries,
we
developing
don't have
countries.
Grab car, we don't have Uber here. It's you have to have cars. Yeah, but
That's
we have like something similar to Uber, but it's only in the city center because like where I live, to get to the city center is 1 hour drive. So I need to have I need to have like at least 2 cars just in case one car break down. I have a spare car. Uh,
That's that's really, really bad. Something needs to be done
yeah.
by the country itself, government itself.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. So thank you so much, sister. Maybe move on to Sister Patience, who would like to share her view.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Hi,
Hi
patient.
everybody. Um, well, so glad to be here. I love everybody's contribution so far. Like I'm learning a lot, and I hope we can learn some more. So I'm Patience, and I live in the UK, but I am from France, originally from Togo and Ghana. So I have lived a little bit in Africa when I was younger, but majority of my life has been in Europe. So I wanted to come on this panel with I think with uh, a way of thinking about what we can do as individuals and not only as the government, what the government has been doing or anything, but there's something that I've realized that I think will be great is for everybody to know what is their carbon footprint. So we can talk as much as we want about how we will reduce it, but if we don't even know where we are, which level we are at, we don't even know what it is we need to start with. So that's something I think that should be developed, but also I think it could be developed by the government in saying that there will be like a tax, for example, on people. So people who are saying like, oh, I don't want to change my ways, like you were saying, Sister Kalyani. If there was a tax or if there was something that was saying, well, your household is actually bringing so much percentage of carbon footprint, I think there will be much more of wanting, to kind of go and refine ways to reduce. But there's so many things. So, for example, I had so I have a company where I used to sell sustainable products for self-care. And I went into it because I wanted to improve my self-care and wanted to use more natural products. But going into it, I found out a little bit more. And then I started to sell products that had been repurposed. So for example, scrubs that were made out of coffee that had been used by baristas, like there's so many things that can be reused, but what we tend to do as consumers is we go for the new, for what's been new or what we can have really quickly. And then I started to look at other ways, like, for example, our digital footprint as well. So having so many mails in your mail inbox and how this is creating, leaving your TV on, leaving your electrical um, and also like Dr. Sister Vina was saying about the cars, using the cars and not using other ways. So I have to use the car, unfortunately, for my family, but the most of the time I'm using the bus, I'm walking, or I'm using public transport, which in England they're making a lot of effort to have them to be like without emission, without trimming CO2 emission. So what can we do what everybody can do every day is, I think, is something that needs to be more than a habit. It needs to be something that is necessary. So for example, a lot of people use Starbucks coffee, Starbucks coffee or Pret or whichever coffee you get in the morning, you go to the office, you get the coffee. But what people don't understand is that there's a domino effect, and the coffee is coming from somewhere. A lot of deforestation is happening because of the coffee that people are drinking every single day. And also, I feel like there's other things, like, for example, using makeup that is used from, for example, natural product or makeup that you can do yourself at home will reduce your carbon footprint. If you are using more like vegan products, or you are using more products that are ethically made, that are more sustainable, that will reduce your carbon footprint. If you are also, I think people don't understand that, but also volunteering and actually going and helping your community is also reducing your carbon footprint. Creating things that for the community will help. So I think as a global, if I can say, as a global summary to what I'm saying, is that all of us, we have to do things in our home. We have to understand where we are starting, but also maybe the government needs to implement some tax into making people understand a little bit more about what they're doing and how they can help better.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Sister Patience. Sister Patience, you've given such wide variety of stuff where we can reduce the carbon footprint. That's amazing. Yes, Sister Patricia, you have raised your hand.
Yes, I just want to add that what Patience sister she mentioned, that we need to actually educate ourselves how we can reduce stuff what we have at home instead of buying more and more and more. What I mean is, some people teaching now about to learn minimalism, not be maximalism. So I believe that this is what we need to start, and I think Patience also give a good point. We need to start to educate ourselves to use and reuse the product what we have. So
Exactly.
if,
Yes.
and this is the good point, instead of go for coffee shop, when they give you another cup, let's say plastic or paper one, bring your cup with you. Or don't buy coffee there, use your cup instead of again that you're using a paper one. So we need to change our minds how we're using the stuff. And I'm really pleased about what Pension mentioned, because I didn't want to say so much because I want to give opportunity everyone. But I think it's good to go to the point everyone, because everyone has many ideas. And I'm really pleased that Patient mentioned, because this is the point and this is what we start. This is where is everything we need to start. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. I mean, I echo you. I resonate with what you're saying, and I echo you totally because Sister Patience made valid, most bang on points, which is absolutely needed for us to go about taking action on and implementing it in our day to day life. Thank you, sister. So I would like to move to our brother, uh, Bantu. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So, brother, I would like to know your opinion and how is it going on in your country? Brother Bantu, can you hear us?
Yes, Anita, how are you? How are you?
We are all doing good, brother. So,
Hi, Major General.
Thank you to you all, my sisters. Good to hear and listening to you and join you this afternoon.
thank you for joining.
Unfortunately, I won't be long because tomorrow I'm debating in Parliament to respond to the President of the Republic of South Africa's statement, which he addressed us last Friday, Thursday. So, but what I can share with you, I think you are in a right track. In 2017, we hosted COP17 in this country. And I remember that I organized with the king of the Zulus to create a forest in one day, where we had 35,000 indigenous trees in KwaZulu-Natal, working with the Redance girls, young girls. And currently, I'm serving in the Presidential Council on climate change. And I'm looking forward to interact with other people like yourselves. Recently, we are busy now talking about how do we move from where we are during this transition up to the time we can say, yes, the whole country is ready for renewable energy. And of course, we have to be careful because some of the products we have are creating jobs for South Africans currently. I'm referring to coal. So there's a lot of discussions and consultation in between. But what I can confirm is that the country itself, I'm sure some of you heard us in Scotland, that we are committed to clean energy. Otherwise, good luck, girls. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Major General.
Thank you,
Sister,
Major General.
would you like to add something to what Major General said right now?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, thank you, brother. Let's move on to Potunga.
Kalyani, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to Potunga. I'm sorry, I'm not able to get your name. Potunguta. Is that Radha?
No,
Kalyani, it's Potugunga
I'm
Radha.
sorry, that's my surname, Kalyani.
I'm
Sorry to
sorry,
get you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't read properly, so I'm really sorry. Radha, you want to take over?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I'm joining this group. It's so great hearing so many different kinds of opinions in different places and countries, which you normally had to spend days and months to understand. So thank you so much, team, for sharing, variety and variety here. Maybe one thing that comes to my mind when, patients was talking about, making those organic scrubs at home, because in India, at least our ancient, moms and grandmothers and their mothers used to make everything organic at home. And now we don't have time, we don't have energy, or maybe we lost trust in the process. We are just ordering something online and then experimenting on our own health and skin. So thank you for, reminding us, our ancient history. And yes, it's still not late to kind of try it on ourselves and our daughters and the future generation. So that I'll make sure, at least I'll do a small Googling around with some things that I have in my kitchen, what I can do. So that's one great takeaway for me today. And then, yeah, making a forest in a day, that's huge. Maybe that I cannot assume. I only saw it in movies. Thank you, General, for sharing that, and for such a huge vision. So nothing is small, nothing is big. So this group is really sharing different altitudes of information. Something that my thing goes is the cost. So I work in IT, and then when we work with different variety of people all across the globe, I see, people really getting to plastic or using something cheap, maybe because it's so reasonable in cost. So that's another way that, to improve the sustainability or decrease the carbon footprint. I was attending some seminar last year wherein there is an young school girl. She was preparing the eatable spoons with jowar and roti, which is like an edible spoons, which we normally use for ice creams and in all bakeries outside. And then the cost of that spoon is around 10 rupees, which made her idea rejected by that, startup venture capital, because the ice cream itself costs 10 rupees out here. So you cannot spend that amount of money on the spoon to have that ice cream. So the girl was disappointed, but I took a great takeaway there that, if we could able to use our intelligence in decreasing that cost and encouraging people out there, maybe that's another great win. So I'll make sure whatever I can, participate. So I work for GE. So we as a company trying to hit local schools and the rural schools, trying to get some ideas and then encourage kids around in developing this organic products that reduce carbon footprint. So next time when I join, I get to, I'll present you guys more interesting information. But thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Radha.
you.
Thank you so much. So, can we move to Nirja, who would like to share her view?
Yes, thank you, Kalyani. Big hello and good evening to everybody because it's evening here in India, and I'm not sure about the others, what time zone you're all in. And yeah, myself, I'm Nirja, and I live in Hyderabad, which is the capital of Telangana state. And yes, it's I really feel privileged to be part of such a huge forum where we have so many lovely individuals, so many nice ideas to make our environment, our earth a better place to live and, use sustainable resources. Yes, I think it should come from us, the change, we should come up with innovative ideas and use the mother earth, the available resources that the environment has given us, and try to stop polluting the environment. For example, when I was a child, maybe some 20-30 years back, we whenever there was a function, we used to use banana leaves to have food, but gradually as I started growing older, I saw the use of plastic. When I used to go to school, there were no plastic bags. If I would go to a grocery shop, or even at that time, I mean, the place where I lived, there were not much supermarkets. So I would go carry a cloth bag, or carry a bag which is not made up of plastic. So at that time, the kind of pollution in the environment was not that much. But gradually, as I started growing older, I see the existence of plastic in India. Everywhere, in every remote place, in every village, plastic has made its prevalence a lot, that now people are, we really need to pull out people from this plastic mania. So India is such a country where we have innovative ideas. I mean, for that matter, everybody in the world is quite innovative. We can use the resources, the natural resources available around us, and create something really sustainable which does not destroy our environment, our place that we live in. Because I mean, the future belongs to the future generation. We should also give them a good place to live happily, where they do not curses that we spoiled the earth for them, right? And the emissions, the carbon emissions, the fuel emissions, you should go with fossil fuels. I think there is we can do a lot in the regional level, make this come up with different ideas from the kids, the small kids. The kids are they have a lot of creativity, they have a lot of imagination. Give them this topic, make them understand what is carbon emissions. We give them so much of, kids are using gadgets, you don't even have to teach them how to use a gadget, right? And they are so updated with everything. So I'm sure the small kids, we start with a small age, at a young age, make that realization in the kids that yes, they have to take care of their nature, they have to take care of the mother earth. Come up with innovative ideas, make the kids think that they should care for their surroundings, for their environment, stop usage of plastic. And yes, as rightly told by many of our sisters in this forum, yes, we should try to get used to going in the public transport. That would definitely limit on the carbon emissions. And more of sustainable resources is what we should look for. So a kind of education with the small kids, maybe in the rural sector, maybe in the semi-urban or the urban sector. Every kid has to be sensitized about the threats that are around in their earth, around their surroundings, even in their house. So how many of us are really educating the kids about the waste disposal? So we have the organic waste and we have the other waste that can be segregated. Teach the kids in around 5-6 years, that is when they start understanding what is waste, and segregate the waste, make them understand that. So the vegetable waste can be again used as compost, and we grow again. That's how organic products come up. So all these kind of sensitizations can be done at a rural level and urban and semi-urban level, so that overall, as a whole, as a country and as a world, we are able to protect our own surroundings and protect our own environment. Yes. And um, destruction of trees everywhere in the world. So that is the major one more concern, which many of us should take it up on a really urgent basis. Protect the trees and make space for greenery. It's very evident that we have to live, but we have to live along with the trees, along with the natural things that we have, right? So we should come up with more better things which do not destroy the greenery around us. Let the trees also live along. After all, they also have the right. Because of them, we are here. If trees are here, human beings are alive. If there are no trees, where is the question of we being alive, right? Be it any part in the world, any corner in the world. So yes, I think every country's government should come up with such kind of things where we stop destruction of trees and plants, and develop a lot of greenery around us wherever we live, with more sustainable ways of construction of houses, where we need to destroy the trees. Or we're all self destruction is what we are doing for our earth, which is really bad. And how long, as one of our sisters said, very rightly said, how long the earth will bear this kind of destruction and nonsense that we are doing? It has been quite patient with us, and it's just letting it go, right? So I think that momentum should come with us, and we sensitize our kids, the younger generation, who will be the future of this world, and make them realize that yes, we have done a lot of mistakes, but we still have the time to set them right by sensitizing the kids. And we started right in our own house and spread it to our residential communities wherever we are living, and then to the area or the zone wherever we are, and then take it to the higher levels. That's how I feel, we should get about a change. So be the change that we want to see, that should start with us. So
Excellent,
I
excellent.
think,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Neerja. This is so informative. I mean, you touched on the most sensitive point. I'm sure Anupama's favorite subject, that is teaching kids about
right.
this. And this is something that is really, really very important because we all need to do that right from the younger generation. We got to bring that. And these kids will become a pushing force for parents to follow this. Be it in office, be it at home, be it wherever they are. These kids will be observing and they're like, hey, mommy, you're doing this. Hey, dad, you're doing this. It's not correct. And they become the policemen and policewomen for the parents, and parents will follow right stuff. Excellent, excellent. That's amazing. So I would like to move to Anupama, who would like to share her viewpoint. To everybody who are here, Anupama and I, we have been a part of this UN campaign called as Race to Zero, which is directly connected to climate action for climate crisis. So here we are reaching out to organizations or companies and asking them to sign a pledge with UN directly, you through their channel partner, and asking them to reduce their carbon footprint. Now, unless we make a commitment or a promise to us or somebody else, we don't take necessary action to reduce the carbon footprint. We are pushing the organizations to take that, and we are ensuring that organizations sign it with UN and they start their journey to reducing the carbon footprint. So Anupama has been our partner and we together have been working on this. We as a team were able to churn and get around 60 plus companies to sign. And Sister Anita, I met through this. So before we could jump and talk with Anupama, Sister Patience has raised her hand. Yes, sis.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So the companies who are signing, are they like big corporation or even small businesses or any size companies?
See, any company which is registered under the government, which has been given a registration number under any stream, we are going ahead and asking them to sign, because we can't wait for larger corporation where hierarchies are so high that their decision making capacity is going to take for years. But smaller solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, startups, SMEs, we are reaching out to them, creating this awareness because most of them are not even aware. So we are creating this awareness and we are helping them learn what it is, give them the material, give them the content what is needed. At the same time, we are creating this awareness and they are starting their journey after signing. They are in touch with the channel partners who keep giving information. So if I may ask Sister Anita, I'm sure you're receiving mails from SME Climate Hub about reducing carbon footprint, all the tools, all the technologies, what is being followed over there. Am I correct?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Kalyani. I'm receiving a plethora of very valuable information. That's why I had mentioned earlier at the beginning of our presentation, I highly encourage and suggest that everyone that has a business to register with CIC. My foundation is registered, and as a result, that's how I'm learning what's going on. That's how I'm learning updates. That's how I'm learning as far as what the government, what they're doing, what countries are signing, being in an agreement, are amenable to this very, very, very crisis of what we're experiencing. Even individual learning what an individual can do. So yes, Kalyani, yes, I am receiving a lot of information, and that is because I signed up for CIC. So just signing up is a big step, because just signing up, I've been able to, I know I'm reducing my carbon footprint just by making that small gesture and that commitment.
Thank you, sister. That means a lot. So over to Anupama, you would like to share your inputs, your opinion.
Yes, thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Good
Welcome.
evening, good afternoon, wherever we are, in which part of the world. My name is Anupama, and I live in the western part of India. Moved to two cities, two states, not states, but yes, cities. But now we are based here, which is relatively a small town, but which has grown over 2 decades that I've been here. So just a little bit about this place that I moved in 20 years back. I moved from Delhi, born and brought up there, capital of India, then got married to this wonderful human being, my husband. We moved to Bombay. So it was anyway quite a shock for me because Delhi was very green. And when I moved to Bombay, Mumbai, I could only see buildings. And of course, you did see trees on the roads, but then it was not common for people to have gardens because there are no big houses there. Everybody lives in buildings. But when I work related, we moved to Baroda. That is where I live in the West. I was so happy to come here because this was the city which was open. I didn't see buildings, multi-story buildings. I saw houses. And what was very welcoming for me to see was that people loved plants. All houses had lawns, had gardens, there were trees. And this place was, I would open my windows in the morning to hear hundreds and thousands of birds chirping. I would wake up to the birds chirping. And it was so fresh and green and beautiful. But then this also was a city where there were no signals. There were very few street lights. And you pay a price for development. So I could see the change, I could see the shift from the trees getting cut, the buildings coming up, people moving out from big houses, big bungalows, to giving it for development to a builder and constructing apartments. After having said this, city still has a lot of greenery. People still love plants here. But the point that I'm going to drive now here is that it is very sad to see that responsible people, they have their gardeners come. They collect all the waste from the garden, which is predominantly green waste. You have leaves, grass, twigs. Now, there is no proper disposal of that. What is happening is the, the, the collectors are just collecting, piling it outside one building. After the pile becomes a little big, so one day they burn the entire thing. So in a small street where we have buildings right opposite our houses, so outside each building there is a huge pile which almost every day somebody or the other is putting a light to it and burning and increasing the carbon footprint. I am so disturbed with that. I am trying very hard. I'm reaching out to the person who's lighting that don't do that. You have a garbage van that comes for the collection. Now, it is a blame game that happens. The collector says that the garbage van is not letting us put the garden waste in there. I don't know what is the theory. I don't know what is the position here. I here would, and my views I shared with everybody. I don't want to repeat what everybody else has said. No to single use plastic. And then definitely I'm going to approach with everybody's help and of course with Kalyani's very strong support. I'm going to reach the schools because I believe it is very difficult to change adults because change is difficult. They have a fixed mindset. But if we try to educate these young minds who are in the process of learning, so if we reach to schools, if we reach to these children, and that is where the change will start happening. And I'm sure we are going to be able to do that very soon. And if anybody has a suggestion for me that how can I fight this in my city and take it to the corporation, the higher body and the authorities, taking an idea to them that instead of burning our green waste, which is very sad because very easily it could be used for manure,
Yeah.
make
Sure.
your compost,
Yeah.
but it is not happening. So is there another alternative where I can reach to the corporation, to the municipal corporation? Because once you get the authorities spinning it down and stopping it is when people, like a sister said, that put a fine,
Yes.
right? So when you put a fine is when the things will start and stop. But if I have a proposal for the corporation that this is not any other waste, but the waste collected from the buildings when they are sweeping the buildings, and of course they're trees, so they're basically waste collected is of green, and people don't want to make an initiative putting making a compost out of it. But is there another solution? Is there another way? If you all sisters can reach and tell me that I can take it to my authorities, and I really want to work this on a very active platform for my city here, because I see it burning all and all. Another important very big concern is during winters. India, very large part of Indian population is still living on roads under very difficult conditions. And the condition worsens for them in winters. Even though you reach out to them, you give them woolens, you give them blankets, you give them warm clothes. But those poor people are still lighting fire to keep themselves warm. So they circle around that and they sit around it, right? So I really want to have an alternative because we cannot house all of them. There are millions of people on the road. Government tries to help them, but it is humanly very difficult. They will still be laborers, they'll still be migrants coming from smaller places in reach of and search of work. So if we have an idea to keep them warm while they are still in open and they stop burning to keep themselves warm, is is where I would request all my sisters here to give me some ideas where I can really take it up and work towards this. Thank you.
Thank you, Anupama. Your point is valid. We will definitely work on this. I know some NGOs who are there in Gujarat who can go about approaching you. I will share their contact details with you. You can talk to them, and whichever street or area this problem is, you can start working. We will connect offline about this, and we will definitely take forward because Darshan from our team who is there, he has good contacts. So let's work it out that way, and we will see how we can attack this problem because the problem is valid. So thank you so much.
Thank
Sister Anita, you have raised your hand.
Yes. I just want to just share. Thank you so much, Anupama. I was thinking as far as with the help, perhaps, an approach, how we approach people and when we want change. Sometimes, I'm not sure if adults are not willing to change. I think sometimes we may put so much on that it's not realistically plausible for the change. I think with this particular issue, it's not a cookie cutter, and we have got to be extra creative, because what we're doing is with the climate change and the global warming, things are happening. However, people still have to eat. People still have to carry on a business. So we have to be creative in when we're approaching someone saying, hey, and one, not going in with a fight. We're not going in opposition of you. We're not going in conflict with you. What we're doing is coming as a partner with you. And our proposal is going to be a win-win. As you reduce the carbon footprint, your company is also viable. It is still being profitable. So that's the thing that I would share. And people that are homeless, one approach psychologically is asking, how can we help you, as opposed to just doing. Sometimes as adults, and even, you know, if we're even if we don't have homes, we still have a sense of wanting to add input. We still have a sense of wanting to be valuable. So if I'm being asked, hey my brother, hey my sister, how can we help you in helping reducing carbon footprint? Now we are including them, as opposed to saying, hey, here you go, this is you take this, and that can be just a reason. So that's just, I just wanted to share that, because what you're saying is very, very, very important, and I just wanted to add that for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, my
sister.
sister.
Thank you so much. So much, Sister Anita. You mentioned a very, very valid point over there. That is, we need to collaborate.
Yes.
Gone are the days where we can compete. Now, these are the days of collaboration. Like you mentioned, hey, sister, hey, brother, I want to help you reduce your carbon footprint. Let's together go about attacking that. That means so much. If somebody came and told me, Kalyani, let's together do this. Maybe you have this problem. Let's together attack it. It feels so good for me. I don't feel left over. I don't feel alone. And
Yes.
together, when we are doing as a company, we are achieving something great. I really love that, sister. It's amazing. I think we have to start adopting and do that. So let's move on to Sandhya. And after that, our dearest friend Indu. I'm sure she's traveling. So first we will do with Sandhya, then Indu, if you can talk, we could take it from there. So, Sandhya?
Hi, hello to all dear sisters. It's very happy to share the ideas and exchange the ideas how to reduce the carbon prints. Yeah, it's a very, very alarming the globe and entire human beings. It's a really right time to take right steps. So every journey starts with a single step. So that is from a mother and from a house. So in this thing, I totally agree with Nirja ma'am. What she is telling that we have to get awareness from within the kids, because they are open to learn, they are open to change. So in actually, my total idea is to we all have to again live in par with nature. In par with nature means we have to bring sustainability in all the aspects. So when we are living in par with nature, there is no damage to nature, then the earth will feel happy. So for this, we have to take the actions to reduce the pollution, carbon emission, global warming in all the things. So these all the things can be done with a single thing, that is to live in par with nature. In par with nature means that is in India, we all have learned from our grandmothers and great grandmothers. There are no Raitu Bazaars, or there are no markets, there are no Spencers, there are no such things. Everybody, for their family consuming, they have produced their own vegetables, their own food, everything in their own garden itself. So again, at least we have to start that thing, terrace gardening, organic farming in the terrace. So you don't need a lot of fields, acres and acres or hectares of field. At least we can start whatever the fruits or vegetables which are required for our daily consumption, we can produce in our terrace itself. Maybe it is an apartment, maybe it is an individual house, whatever it may be. So I suggest to bring awareness about the gardening or how to produce our own, what is used for us daily needs, like tomato, chili, potato, whatever the things, smaller things in smaller quantity at least. So let us encourage our kids for terrace gardening and try to reduce the carbon emissions. Like I would like to support that public transport. And even though we have the lot of purchasing capacity, but we should not buy the things more than what we require. That's how
Very true.
the imbalance between the nature and our living, I feel it is coming into place. So for this, I would like to suggest that we have to bring the awareness in the kids, because they are going to be the next generation people. So at least we have to make them sure it's already in the alarming position. So Babu, let us take the initiation now itself. It is never than late. Better never than late. And try to reduce the animal product, limit the animal meat. At least if okay, sometimes the vegan, of course we probably endorse vegan food, but sometimes somebody are good at somebody suggests that animal products are rich in protein and all. So at least if we consume animal products also, we have to bring the sustainability in every aspect of our life, what I feel strongly.
Very true. Very true.
So how it could be done, how it could be, so there must be a SOP for everything. So let us all share our ideas and exchange our ideas. Then let us prepare a SOP. Maybe it is a bigger term, but okay, in small actions, small gestures also, we can bring the change from our home in itself, then our near and dear, then our community, then our society. So that's what I feel, sisters, and I am very happy to share, and I am very happy to know the suggestions from you all.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Sandhya. I mean, what you touched upon about the meat, that's really good. See, I'm not against meat. I'm a vegetarian and I don't know how it feels to eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in my life. I'm seriously saying this. But I cannot go about outrightly saying everybody cut down meat, because we all are brought up with our own tastes and our own backgrounds. But if we are able to adopt sustainability, as sister said, I think we can go about working. Because I know a whole lot of colleagues from UK, who are from France, who are from Luxembourg and other places, who started their journey towards becoming non-meat eaters. As in, they eat on special occasions, but to compensate for meat, they started adopting vegetables and other green stuff, which is really great. So, moving on to Indu, who would like to take over and talk and share her opinion.
Thank you so much, Kalyani. And first of all, I would like to thank each one of you on the call for such great ideas. I can't be blessed enough to be a part of this esteemed forum. Today was Sunday, and actually, since 2 weeks, I have been committing my daughter that I will take you to a beach, and that's why I had taken her here. But I didn't wanted to miss this call, so I really wanted to be here, and I was very happy to be a part of this. Now, coming back to our topic of reducing the carbon footprint. Now, recently, one of the research said that due to COVID, there has been a lot of changes in the entire work style that we have been doing in the organization. So, completely, we have been moving to work from home, and which has drastically reduced the carbon footprints automatically. However, one of the research also said that during COVID period, there has been surge of cars, buying of cars, because people do not want to use public service transportation. People want to more use their self car or something like that. I come from Vapi. So Vapi is in Gujarat, the same place where Anupama also bees, and Vapi is one of the city. And let me tell you, Vapi is one of is second stands second in highest pollution. So here it is a biggest industry where a lot of people come. Migrants are over here work. So there are a lot of sites and industry and manufacturing areas which has been specifically here, and that's why there's a lot of pollution over here. So couple of points which I personally started small at home. So in India, there is one festival called Diwali, and Diwali is, India being one of the biggest in cultures. So there are more than 360 languages with 360 different culture. And while we want to do something in India, it is really, I would not say difficult or challenge, but the approach has to be such that all have to be at the same page, because some cultures talk something, the other cultures would definitely be on a different point of view. So while we are putting anything, it has to be in a very sustainable way wherein there is a lot of buy-in from all these colleagues. So there is one festival called Diwali wherein lot of firecrackers are burnt during this festival. And to my surprise, if for that one day of firecrackers, the amount of pollution that we are creating to the entire Mother Earth is huge. And this, I do not remember the correct figures, but this has a very huge impact on the global warming, was one of the article. So my daughter is 5 years old, and I have, she has never fired any cracker. And she tells her friends, please do not do this because it will create air pollution. And she starts this step and she tells to others. So I started small, at the house itself. And similarly, I and my husband both work, but we don't take our cars personally. We we take, one person will take one day, the other person will take another day. We go by sharing. So we try and at least uh, from a self perspective, and I know certain things about my Mother Earth, why not I take that first step. And I'm a person that I would start, but I want more support to tell it to larger forum. And that's why I have been in this part of this its group. Now Vapi is a place which is in between the union territories, which is Silvassa, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Daman. So in both the place, like Miss Anupama said, that there have been really very nicely taken care about the dry waste and the plastic waste. They segregated both very nicely, and the green waste is taken care for manure things, and the plastic waste are used for recycle. In Vapi, there is no such thing. So I think hearing from all of you, understanding the great insights that we are speaking about, I think that would be my first step. In the Vapi city, I would like to first take this particular step of carbon print. Second step would be, how do I, reduce this usage of crackers, firecrackers, which is having the most important segment. How could I place this awareness amongst all of us? And nowadays, kids are working from, home. They are using lot of notebooks, and couple of our friends also mentioned that cutting off trees is such a biggest thing that is uh, creating this kind of a carbon footprint excess. So I think, can we have a replacement of books? Because now that they have come and adjusted towards a working online platform where they're using tabs, where they're using more on an online version, can we think about something of replacement of books which causes maximum of the trees? So I think these are the couple of ideas that I have now, but I think I should prioritize, and first priority would be, yes, wastage, wherein Kalyani, Anupama, and all others, with your support, I think we can take the small step. This is very new for me, but I'm already excited to be a part and make some changes, some small step that I can do. Thank you.
Amazing, Indu. I really love that what you mentioned. We have to replace something for books because I'm against wasting paper. I'm against printing unnecessary stuff. I'm against even printing business cards. It's been 6 years since I have printed my business cards. Anybody ask, I share my business card over WhatsApp or something. So it's great. So Sister Patricia has got something to say. So please, sister, go ahead.
Hello, house sisters. Actually, I would like to share this what you're looking for. So, with regarding books, this is already a solution and is already being through. It's an ebook. It's online, which is people who instead print the books, they're creating books by online, and it's called ebook. So you can research that on Google how to create ebook, and this is the way, instead of printing books, you can put them on online, and you can sell this on Amazon or different media. With business cards, actually, I also know the solution because I have chance to meet one organization. They create electronic business cards. So they also work to protect the trees. This is organization working to protect the trees. That's why I'm deeply trying to involve about to keep the trees and not cutting them. So if you want to know more about this and electronic business cards, I'm happy to share after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. That is definitely needed because all of us are in key position and we definitely need to share our business card somewhere or the other. And electronic business cards is something that we have to adopt to right now. Because today morning I was cleaning my house and my sister who vacated and left all her stuff here, I was saying she had so many business cards, literally around say 100 plus business cards, and I had to throw all of them, and I was really thinking what a country waste this is. Printing is wasted and paper is wasted, and now I'm throwing it. That's another waste. Of course I'm not going to throw it in the bin. I'm going to give it to the place where they reuse and they recycle the paper, but still it's a waste, and she's hoarded it for so many years. That is also a waste. I think we have to do something was there in my thought, and you just spoke. It's really great. So I think we have come to the end. We have one more person who has joined, Devesh. Would you like to talk and share your views?
Hi, Davish.
Yes, sorry to be late.
No problem. Glad to have you here.
Yes, I was so excited to join you guys, but unfortunately I was on a hike. There was no connection.
Glad you made it. So thankful.
Yes, glad you're here, Davish.
Thank you. So yeah, for me, my country, Mauritius, just just took a decision to make Mauritius go green till 2035. So we started about solar panel yards, turning cars hybrid to electric. So it's starting little by little.
Great, great. That's nice. That's really nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. Hope
That's
to see you soon in Mauritius.
Yes, indeed.
So, if I may request Sister Olga, who's raised her hand, to share her views.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. So I'm really grateful for this conversation because talking about it and having the awareness, I think is the first step. And also having the world benchmark. How are things everywhere? So that's perfect. I wanted to share with you kind of my main conclusions of what we're talking about today. I think we have like 4 pillars to work on. The first one is me as a person. So I can check how my house is consuming, or what kind of food I eat, or what, if I buy too much clothes, I don't have to buy too much, I have to reuse. So that's me as a person, number one. Number two is me as a consumer. So as a consumer, as we talk about the meat, maybe I want to eat meat, but then I'm gonna look for local providers, making sure they're sustainable as they can be. At least they are close to my home. So as a consumer, also we're gonna force like it for a change, because I'm gonna buy what is telling me they're doing the right thing for me and future generations. So it's me as a person, it's me as a consumer. The third is me as a worker, as talent, as part of as an enterprise, as a business. So there is when we can ask our to working from home, or the digital cards, as you said. So we also have to raise our voice inside the company to say like, hey, or why don't we pull to work in the cars, in our department. So as you mentioned. And the fourth part is society. We are part of a society, so we have to tell our kids, we have to have these talks at the one we have today with our family, with our friends, but also knowing what's going on or what we need. We also need to ask for more for our governments, because whatever we're doing is not working, because the pace that we're going destroying this planet is going too fast. Once there's a point of no return. So I think it's just like us as a person, as a consumer, as part of a company and society. And I'm very grateful to be hearing all of this, because help me clarify. First step is to talk, awareness, share, and we have different hats that we have to mobilize with this. So really helpful, grateful for this.
Thank you. Thank you, sister.
Excellent.
Amazing. That's amazing. Sister
Oh,
Anita, would you like to add anything?
oh, no, I just wanted to say that was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Olga. I wrote it down. I was writing so fast as you were writing. I said, "Oh my goodness, the four me's," and you just encapsulated it just in totality. Bless your heart. Thank you so much.
Excellent, excellent. In fact, actually, Sister Olga capsulated the entire session of our panel discussion in 4 points, and that's amazing. Thank you, Sister, and a great big hug for you from me, all the way from here. Thank you so much. So, as we are coming to the end of our session, I know we have offshoot our time, we've gone ahead, but still, it was a very, very, very fruitful, very interactive session that we've had. We will be looking forward for more sessions like this, because we as leaders, we are the change makers, and we have to drive this change. To begin with, let's start saying no to single use plastic. So what we will be doing is we will start sharing about say no to single use plastic on social media, and we'll share it over the mail to you. Start practicing it. Start spreading this awareness with everybody. Let's take it as a challenge. Let's challenge our people around in our family, in our society. Get as many people to participate, and let's start saying no to single use plastic. It can be saying no to plastic cutlery, it can be saying no to plastic spoons, or rather plastic polythene bags, saying no to plastic items where we have to use it and shred it. We have to be the change drivers. And let's start doing this so that we can reduce our carbon footprint. I know we are going slow, but somewhere we are beginning, and let's drive this change aggressively so that next meeting when we have in the next quarter, now we are doing it in February, so we will do it in probably in May, our next session. What say, Sister Anita?
Yes, that sounds good. In May, February, March, April, May. Yep, that sounds very good.
So
I
when
love
we
it.
have
I'm sorry, Kilyani. Because as soon as we're done, I'm gonna be posting on Facebook. Say who's with me. Say no to plastic, single use. You mentioned cutlery, bags, cups. Can you give any other type of items that we can list on our social media?
Definitely, we use straws when we go for our juice centers where we buy juice. So we use plastic straw.
Okay.
Say no to that. And we go to the supermarkets or departmental stores where vegetables and fruits are sold. We got to put them in polythene bags or containers that are made for plastic. We got to say no to that. And as Sister Nirja suggested, take up bags, cloth bag, or some other sustainable product where we can put all our stuff and bring it. Say no to all of it. Go local for vocal, as in going for local vendors. Sister Anita, we both discussed in length about this
Yes.
recently. We discussed saying, let's go to local vendors rather than going to big shops because we are giving them a means for sustainable stuff. They're going to be organic, whatever products they are going to use, because local vendors cannot afford for high amount of fertilizers, chemicals, hormones, and stuff like that. So let's go vocal for local. So that is the biggest step that we're going to do. And above everything, like most of the sisters went ahead and discussed, we have to go back to basics. As Sister Patience said, go back to basics. We use makeup. It is necessary for our day-to-day work. I mean, we are working when we are meeting our clients, we are in conferences. We can't say, I don't want makeup. I can't go about that way. It's a part of dressing. But how we can become sustainable over there? How we can go vegan over there, how we can go about using natural products, that is something that we got to adopt. So these are some of the sustainability steps that we will be sharing. Let's challenge one another, let's challenge people around and come back with success stories next panel discussion, because next panel discussion we are not going to discuss about the issues, we're going to discuss the success stories, the impact we created, the way we are running this, and we got to be really aggressive in driving this. What do you say, sisters?
Yes. We say yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
100%. Yep.
yes, all of us. Yes, yes, yes. And our brothers. Well, I just, if I may say, I just want to say, I want to thank all of you, mentoring and motivation and oneness and wisdom. I just want to say thank you for your beautiful energy, both so beautiful, both he and she. We, Kalyani and I, value you. You just, you're amazing, and we look forward. We look forward to seeing you in May, and spread the word, because the more people come onto this platform, the more we are creating awareness. And sign up to CIC.
Yes. If you are a company owner, you have a small business, you're a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, you're a, what do you say, SME, whatever it is, reach out to me or Anupama. We'll be more than happy to help you. And you want to be a party with this journey, you want to spread the awareness, together we have to do it. I'll be more than happy to join you in CIC, and let's together bring this change, because we are the change drivers, and let's be the drivers who are doing it aggressively. Let's do it together, sisters.
All
And
right.
I just want to add the last point. Not a whole lot of words. People who have been doing it, men, leaders have been doing it. They are really tired right now. Women power is needed. Wherever it is, women is needed. So we women, we get in. I'm sure we will become the pushing force and the pulling force. Let's go about doing, and let's save our planet together.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sisters. Love and hugs to all of you. Thank you.
Blessings, peace, and love, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.